Hey everyone, it's another blazing day in Texas. Heidi and I have gone through months of dealing with this and went back and forth if I should do a video or not. And at this point, we need to get something going viral because of what we're dealing with. Now, this is going to sound like a first world problem and what are you complaining about? But we had built a pool back in, it finished November 2021, so less than 3 years ago. Saved up for this pool. Of course, it's hot in Texas, so it's kind of nice to have one. You don't need to have one, but it's nice to have one. But we did everything right. We got a builder that was insured, went through the process, and shortly after we built it, we noticed some leaking and things, and they'd come out and patch it and try to fix it. And as of about 8 months ago, we were informed we had ASR, which is concrete cancer, alkali silica reaction. And what that means is the concrete suppliers during COVID, which was a huge pool boom, didn't put fly ash into the concrete. Fly ash actually reduces the pH of the concrete so it can react with water. And obviously concrete needs to react with water. So we started noticing small cracks and some leakage. So pool builder comes out and says, sorry, you got ASR, you got to sue us. You got to sue the insurance company. Then the insurance company is probably going to deny it, and then you got to go after the concrete supplier. So at this point, we are going after a concrete supplier that had recently filed bankruptcy, going after the pool builder. Now the interesting part is the pool builder gave us a lifetime guarantee of the shell of the pool. Lifetime is obviously more than 3 years, but they are not standing up on that. Now here's the kicker to all this. We are just one of well over 1,000 people in Central Texas dealing with this. So it is a problem that is well over $100 million issue just in Austin and surrounding areas alone. Our Attorney General has done nothing about this. Our governor has done nothing about this. And our local government has done nothing about this, which is interesting because you got to pull permits to build a pool, and they're sure going to get that money. But then when it comes down to support after it's all said and done, they do nothing. So now we have 2 attorneys, which isn't cheap. And the other kicker to this is some of the concrete suppliers and insurance companies want you to pull core samples out of the pool. Now, when you see this pool, there is no need to pull a core sample. It's got dozens of cracks inside and out. It's leaking water. And pulling a sample would cost me and Heidi an additional $8,000 just to prove it has concrete cancer. When I show you pictures, a 3-year-old pool should not have dozens of cracks in it. So at this point, I've never, as you can see, done a video before on YouTube. I don't even know how to make something go viral, so I'm asking for help for people. I don't know if maybe this will wake the government up, if enough people share this for me and 1,000 other people's stories. But I had to try something. So it's not a big pool. It's not huge. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't as expensive as some of the other pools that we've seen that have had this. I mean, pools that are $200,000-$300,000, these people are stuck. And you just wait for insurance companies to respond, which they're not. You wait for lawyers to respond, which is slow. And you continue to shell out money for something that you don't even know if you will get any response from it on. I would love for this to go as far as HGTV and bigger federal government agencies to find out how something like this could happen and literally cost cumulatively over $100 million, and there just be no support. So I'll show you a little picture of the pool, and we are losing right now somewhere in the range of about 2 inches every day and a half maybe. So you're talking, I don't know, hundreds of gallons of water. And so we're trying to keep it afloat through the rest of this season. So another month or so, and then we will have a gigantic bird bath in our backyard until the foreseeable future, because litigation can go up to 3 years on this, and then you don't even know if you'll even recoup. By the time you spend legal fees and core samples and all that, you might get lucky to recoup 50% of your additional pool cost. And now the problem is, building a pool is about 25% more than it was 3 years ago. And then you have to spend the money to demolish the pool. There's no cure for this. It has to be completely demolished and rebuilt, which means they come in, jackhammer everything out, which there's a lot of other little things that go into it as far as replanting your grass and landscaping, sprinkler heads, things like that, that automatically get ruined when you build a pool. But so at this point, I am just looking for a little support from somebody. 2 kids in college, can't really afford to just knock down a pool and completely rebuild it with no support from insurance, which it should be. You have a lifetime guarantee, but that's really not even worth toilet paper right now. So I'll kind of show you our pool. Sure looks nice from afar, but I'll zoom into some spots and kind of show you what's going on. So our patio actually is now starting to crack because of the concrete underneath it. So you can see I'm getting shifting from the whole patio. This is fun because if you step on it, it's already starting to disconnect. Hard to see in the shade, so I'm going to try to work my way around. Some of these cracks, that's actually a small one. That's not bad, but when you look at the bottom of the pool, you will see almost like little lines. Those are all cracks. Some of the bigger ones go about, they go upwards of 6 to 8 feet. I'm going to try to do this so I can actually get a picture. But these are all on the bottom of the pool. If you go into the corner, that's pretty visible. Again, pool's less than 3 years old. And I could show more. I mean, you go into the corners, you'll see this white goo coming out. That's actually the silica reaction. And those are all cracks. If we step on, and then you can see my retaining wall there, the pool is actually shifting. So that wall is shifted down, starting to crack. All the mortar in between the joints is starting to come out. So that's just the first sign. Now, half of our pool is built above ground. So my looter, which is extremely hard stone, is also starting to crack. And then the side of the pool is the fun part. This is where it started initially. You can see the whole side of the pool. That moisture, which shouldn't happen on a 100-degree day, is cracked all the way down. It's about done. Probably not safe to even have water in it now, but definitely not in another month or so. And that goes all the way around to the back. So some of that reaction goes along the back side. That's typical ASR, spider web cracking. The concerning part is when you can see all the looter and everything separating. This wall is actually blown out a little bit, which concerns me more than anything. That's where the pool connects into the patio. But they put in the flagstone, and because of all the shifting and the leakages, and you just don't know with all these cracks where, I mean, it's even over here. You just don't know with all these cracks where the water's going to. Even those little white lines are the beginning of ASR cracks in the bottom of that. So this isn't a sob story. Woe is me. It's a plea for help from maybe somebody in the government. I have written the Attorney General 3 times. I get a canned email response. Go through legal counsel, blah, blah, blah. So, sorry, Ken Paxton, you're a Republican. And I think everybody pretty much knows which way I lean, but I don't think I'd vote for that guy again. Greg Abbott, I know this is small potatoes for you, but I think over $100 million plus. I mean, this could be upwards. We have heard as many as 3,000 pools. Right now, confirmed, there's 1,300. So if you do an average pool that's, 70, 80 grand, we know somebody whose pool went out that was $600,000, 200,000, 150. So I did the math, and I figure at an average of $100,000 a pool, by the time it's all said and done, you take 1,000 pools, that's $100 million. And there's been no response from the government. And locally, less than 0 response. There's no concrete testing protocol yet in place. So some of these guys that poured these pools are still in business. Ours is not. But there's 3 other concrete suppliers out there that are still doing business that poured concrete without fly ash in it. Some of these guys also close up shop, pool builder wise, and start up a new LLC and keep the train going. Now, I don't think any reputable pool builder right now would not be testing concrete so they don't have to go through this. This has been really tough on the pool builders because they use subcontractors. And so, of course, these guys trusted that the concrete they were getting was adequate. It obviously has not been. So right now we are friends with approximately 6 people that had pools built, 21, 22, that all have ASR. Some are about the same size pool as ours. Some are a little bit bigger. And they're all in the same boat. So I know this is about a 13, 14 minute video. And again, I'm not looking for a pity party, but I am looking for some type of response from either insurance companies. I had written somebody this morning, after all this, after the builder showed up in February and just told us to sue him. His insurance company has not even been out here. I've sent a bunch of pictures in. They're probably going off that, and with as many cases as there were in the time frame, they're probably like, yeah, it's ASR, but nothing we can do about it, type of thing. Insurance money's running out with some of these companies and leaving a lot of people in the dust. So that's it. Again, I'm not a YouTube sensation. I've never actually made a YouTube video before, but I figure this would be the one. Thanks.